And of course, this is the Super Bowl edition. Now, typically we reserve the power rankings for Tuesdays, but because it's Super Week, we're going to have it a little bit closer to the game. We're doing it today, the penultimate show before Super Bowl 60 kicks off. So these are the Canty Power Rankings. Now, usually we go 1 through 5, but today, because it's Super Bowl edition, we're going 1 through 10. We're going deep. Now, the 10 through 6, we're just going to buzz through. But I just got to throw this out there because there's so many people that could play a key role in the outcome of Super Bowl 60. So the Canty Power Rankings are brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. These are the top 10 people that will decide Super Bowl 60. Pat Costello, without further ado. Ernest Jones, second-team All-Pro linebacker. This guy had 5 interceptions. He is a ball hawk when it comes to defending those short and intermediate zones. A rangy linebacker. He can do a lot of different things, present some problems for that New England Patriots defense. Interesting to see how he matches up with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. But Ernest Jones checking in at number 10. Next,
number 9.
Tank Lawrence. Now, Tank Lawrence, ironically enough, after leaving Dallas this past offseason, said that, you know what, it wasn't going to work out in Dallas. He wasn't going to get to a Super Bowl in Dallas. Well, he was right. He got to a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. Why I have Tank Lawrence so high on the list is that we have to keep an eye out for the matchup between him and Will Campbell. Drake Maye has been hit a hell of a lot this postseason, and Tank Lawrence is in prime position to be able to take advantage of that and be able to exploit that. Tank Lawrence is a guy that could be a dark horse candidate for Super Bowl MVP. He could have that type of impact on the game. Next,
number 8.
Christian Gonzalez. Curious to see how the New England Patriots deploy him, whether or not they have him shadow Jackson Smith and Jigba, or they play him on one side of the field and they decide to bracket JSN with 2 other defensive backs. Christian Gonzalez is an all-pro defensive back. He's on the board, best defender for the New England Patriots. Curious to see how Mike Vrabel utilizes him in the big game. Next,
number 7.
Rashid Shaheed. This guy is a big play waiting to happen, whether it's in the passing game or the return game. He starts every postseason game with an explosive. It was the big reception against the LA Rams. It was the kickoff return against the San Francisco 49ers. This was an in-season trade acquisition that has played huge dividends for the Seattle Seahawks. Rashid Shaheed will have his imprint on this game somehow, some way. Reminds me a lot of my former teammate, the late Jacoby Jones, in terms of his impact on the Baltimore Ravens making a run at Super Bowl 47. Next,
number 6.
Mike Vrabel, head coach, former New England Patriots player. This was a person that was responsible for the foundation of what we know the Patriots to be now. He did it on the field as a player. Now he's doing it as a coach. His experience in having these 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl is going to help his team in terms of preparedness. One of the biggest challenges is getting into a rhythm, getting into a routine when everything around you screams that this is anything but just another game. So Mike Vrabel helping his team come to grips with the realities of playing in a Super Bowl and having a certain level of comfortability so they can go out and be the best version of themselves on Sunday afternoon. Now we get into the top 5. Let's go.
Number 5.
Milton Williams going for back-to-back championships. I know he's only had 3.5 sacks in the regular season, but this dude is an animal and he comes alive in the playoffs. We've seen what he's been able to do with the New England Patriots. 2 sacks this postseason, 5 sacks total in the postseason in his career. We saw him get multiple sacks in the Super Bowl last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think his experience up front is going to be invaluable in terms of helping this New England Patriots front be able to get after Sam Darnold. Underrated Seattle Seahawks offensive line. They've got to find ways to be able to break it down. I don't think they'll have a lot of success on the edges with the 2 tackles for Seattle, but I do think there's an opportunity to create some interior push, and Milton Williams is at the heart of that. So Milton Williams checking in at 5 on my list. Next,
number 4.
K9, Kenneth Walker, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. He tied a season high with 19 rush attempts in both the divisional round and the NFC Championship game. He also tied a season high with 4 receptions in the NFC Championship game win over the Rams. Now, I think we have to note that Zach Charbonnet, the other part of that 1-2 punch in the Seattle backfield, he's out with the torn ACL. The workload for K9 has gotten bigger, and he's answered the bell. Over 1,300 yards from scrimmage this season. Seattle is a play-action passing outfit when it comes to trying to generate explosives. But play-action pass doesn't work unless you can establish the run. It's going to be key for Sam Darnold that K9 gets going early in this game. Next.
Number 3.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, the odds-on favorite to win Offensive Player of the Year. 1,965 receiving yards this season, including playoffs. He's tied with Jerry Rice for the 4th most receiving yards in the season, including the playoffs. 10 games this season, he's been north of 100 yards receiving. This is somebody that leads the NFL in receptions above expected, which grades the degree of difficulty of the catches. He averages over 3 yards of separation when targeted, which by NFL standards is wide open. It's going to be fascinating to see how the Pats try to defend JSN. JSN could be the 4th player to lead the NFL in receiving yards during the regular season and win a Super Bowl, and that would be joining Hall of Famers Drew Pearson, Jerry Rice, and then, of course, his teammate Cooper Kupp, if he's able to finish the drill. JSN checking in at number 3. Next.
Number 2.
Drake Maye. Drake Maye is incredibly underrated, has put together an incredibly underrated postseason. 3 straight wins over top 5 defenses in his 2nd season at 23 years old. He's had 5 total touchdowns to 2 picks. For context, Brady was 24 years old during his first Super Bowl run and had 2 total touchdowns to 1 pick. Dan Marino was 23 years old in his Super Bowl run, 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. Drake Maye has taken a ton of hits, and he's kept moving forward, but the hits are the concern. He's been sacked 15 times. He's been hit a total of 29 times on dropbacks. His legs will have to be a weapon if the Pats are going to survive having a shaky offensive line in Super Bowl 60. The most recent Super Bowl blowouts that we've seen, all of them have had issues with the offensive line being able to protect the quarterback. Next.
Number 1.
Sam Darnold. No quarterback has more wins since the start of 2024. Only one quarterback has more completions of 20 air yards or more. Only one quarterback has more touchdowns of 20 air yards or more. He leads all quarterbacks this postseason in yards per dropback and is 2nd in QBR. Maybe the most important stat as it pertains to Sam Darnold is that he's led 11 scoring drives in 18 postseason possessions with no turnovers. Sam Darnold, number 1 when it comes to the top 10 people that will decide Super Bowl 60. So there is the list. Sam Darnold, number 1, Drake Maye, number 2, JSN, number 3, Kenneth Walker, number 4, Milt Williams, number 5, Mike Vrabel, number 6, Rashid Shaheed, number 7, Christian Gonzalez, number 8, Tank Lawrence, number 9, Ernest Jones, number 10. Smalls, you are my accountability partner. Any objections, any omissions?
First of all, you crushed the list, CC. Great work there. Great info. My objections and omissions are brought to you by H&R Block. Let the experts at H&R Block make your money work for what matters to you. Visit HRBlock.com today. One omission for me, CC. I was surprised you didn't have Josh McDaniels on the list. You talk about Drake Maye and the way that he needs to utilize his legs and how influential he's going to be in the outcome of the game. Well, what about the guy who's calling the plays for him? What about the guy who knows what play to call and when to call it? Josh McDaniels is arguably the best at this, and he has the rings to prove it. So I'm very interested to see what he dials up for Drake Maye.
Yeah, I like that one. Josh McDaniels certainly warrants consideration to be on this list. But here's the thing, Smalls, above the X's and O's, I think getting players to the place where they are comfortable and confident in executing is critical. And that's why I decided if I was going to put a Patriots coach on there, I was going with Mike Vrabel, who has a chance to win a Super Bowl as a coach and as a player, first person to do that in NFL history. I had to put Mike Vrabel on the list over Josh McDaniels.
Well, when Super Bowl 60 comes to an end, ESPN is proud to introduce The Handoff, a special 24-hour football event. We take you directly from Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, the home of Super Bowl 61, coming, of course, to ESPN, ABC, the Walt Disney Company, in February of 2027. The Handoff kicks off with SportsCenter with SVP on February 8th. We're on Sportsmanlike.